You know, right now you are on an absolutely incredible journey. In fact, you take it about 12 to 16 times every single minute, whether you're wide awake or fast asleep. It's the journey of a single breath, and in this explainer, we're going to follow that journey all the way from the air around you to the energy humming inside your cells.
Just think about that for a second. Over 20,000 times a day, you pull the outside world deep inside your body. But what actually happens on that trip? How does something as simple as air get turned into the very energy that keeps you alive? Well, that's exactly what we're about to find out.
All right, so to really get this, we first need to make sure we're all on the same page. Because what most of us call breathing is actually just the first step. It's the opening act for a much, much bigger show happening inside you.
Okay, so on the one hand, you've got breathing. This is the mechanical part, right? It's your muscles physically pulling air in and pushing it out. It's the pump. But the whole reason for the pump, the real goal, is over here on the right, respiration. This is the chemical magic that happens deep inside your cells, where that oxygen is used to unlock the energy from your food. Breathing is just the delivery service for respiration.
So, let's start that journey. Go ahead, take a breath in with me. We're going to imagine we can follow a single particle of oxygen from that very breath and trace its exact path down into your lungs.
And here's our roadmap. The air zips in through your nose or mouth, heads down the windpipe, the trachea, and then the path just splits. It branches off like an upside-down tree, getting smaller and smaller and smaller, burrowing deep into your lungs, heading for its final destination. And along the way, that air is getting prepped for its big moment. Your nasal passages are like this super sophisticated air conditioning unit. They filter it, warm it up, and add moisture. Then it's guided down through all those branching tubes until finally it arrives at the alveoli. These are millions of tiny, bubble-like air sacs. And this is the end of the road for the airway, but it's where the most important part of the journey is just about to begin.
This is it. This is the climax of the whole story. It's right here, in these tiny little sacs, that the entire purpose of breathing is finally realized. This is the point of trade. It's the great exchange, where the oxygen you just brought in gets swapped for the carbon dioxide waste your body needs to kick out. Now, what I find so amazing about this is how you see two massive systems meeting. On the left, you see your blood highway, the circulatory system, wrapping itself all around these air sacs. And on the right, you see just how close that connection is. The wall separating the air from your blood is unbelievably thin, way, way thinner than a single human hair. And that tiny, microscopic gap is the key to everything.
So what makes the swap happen? Well, it's this beautifully simple principle from physics, partial pressure. Just think about a super crowded room. What do people naturally do? They move from the packed area to an empty one. Gases do the exact same thing. They just flow from high pressure to low pressure, completely on their own. No energy needed.
And this table shows that crowded room effect with the actual numbers. Check out oxygen. The pressure in your lungs is a high 104, but in the blood just arriving, it's only 40. That is a massive difference. It's like a steep downhill slide that oxygen just rushes down, leaping from the air into your blood. Now look at carbon dioxide. It's the exact opposite. It's more crowded in the blood, so it flows right out into the lungs. It's a perfect two-way street.
Okay, so the oxygen made the jump. It's officially in the bloodstream. Mission accomplished, right? Well, not quite. The journey isn't over. Now it has to be delivered to every single one of the trillions of cells in your body. And for that, it needs a ride. As you can see from this chart, oxygen doesn't just float around by itself. Only a tiny 3% is dissolved directly in the blood. The vast majority, a whopping 97%, gets VIP treatment. It binds to a special carrier molecule to get around. I absolutely love this analogy because it's so perfect. That carrier molecule is called hemoglobin, and it's packed into your red blood cells. It literally acts like a massive fleet of taxis, picking up oxygen passengers in the lungs, where they're everywhere, and then dropping them off in the body tissues where they are desperately needed.
And here's basically how that taxi service works. In the lungs, where oxygen is abundant, each hemoglobin taxi eagerly loads up with 4 oxygen passengers. Then, when that taxi gets to your body's tissues where oxygen is scarce, the conditions change, and it's the perfect time to let its precious cargo go.
But this curve tells an even smarter story. It shows that hemoglobin is a brilliant delivery driver. See how steep the curve gets at these lower oxygen levels? That means when a red blood cell reaches, say, a hardworking muscle that is starving for oxygen, hemoglobin doesn't just release its passenger, it practically shoves it out the door. It delivers exactly what's needed, right where it's needed most. It's amazing.
So, how efficient is this whole delivery service? Get this. On every single trip around your body, each 100 milliliters of blood, that's less than half a cup, delivers about 5 milliliters of pure oxygen to your tissues. It's just a constant, unbelievably reliable supply chain working away every second of your life.
So we've seen the mechanics, we've seen the chemistry, but who's coordinating all this? I mean, who's the director? Well, maybe the most amazing part is that this entire complicated process runs on complete autopilot, managed by a sophisticated command center deep inside your brain.
You can think of it like a band. Deep in your brainstem, the respiratory rhythm center is the drummer, setting that basic, steady beat. In, out, in, out. Then you have the pneumotaxic center. It's the conductor, telling the drummer when to speed up or slow down. But maybe the most important part is the chemosensitive area. It's like the sound engineer, constantly testing the blood and telling the conductor exactly what the body needs, making the whole system perfectly responsive.
And this leads to one of the most surprising, kind of mind-blowing facts about breathing. You know that powerful, urgent feeling you get when you hold your breath? You'd think it's your body screaming for oxygen, right? Well, it's not. It's primarily driven by your brain detecting a buildup of carbon dioxide in your blood. Turns out your body's more desperate to take out the trash than it is to bring in the groceries.
You know, when you step back and look at the whole thing, from the air around us to the energy in our cells, this entire system is it's a biological masterpiece. It's robust, it's efficient, it's automatic, but, and this is important, it's also incredibly fragile.
Things can go wrong. Those airways can get inflamed, making the journey difficult. The delicate walls of the alveoli can be destroyed, which permanently wrecks that great exchange. And lung tissue itself can get scarred and hardened. It's just a powerful reminder that this incredible system really needs our protection.
So, from a simple movement of your muscles, to a chemical exchange driven by physics, to a taxi service in your blood and an autopilot in your brain, the journey of a breath is anything but simple. It's an invisible miracle that happens over 20,000 times a day inside you right now. Which leaves me with one last thought. The next time you take a breath, will you think about this incredible, invisible journey?